Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lex, and I would greatly appreciate it if you want to support me and if you want to support the channel, if you would consider liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. It helps to get the videos out there and it inspires me to keep creating. Y'all, I needed to take a little break because I had realized that I literally I think 14 days did not take a break from either watching, taking notes, and scripting a video for a show, or recording a video and editing a video for a show. It has been 14 days straight, which in my opinion is a lot. So I really wanted to push myself really, really hard in March, especially because I was sick back in January and still going through it, but we have our ups and downs. And I really wanted to push myself. So I do want to thank you guys for the support. The support for the channel has seriously reflected that. The growth in subscribers, the growth in engagement on the channel. I'm like an analytics snob, so I do look at my analytics and it just means so much. I know y'all get upset when YouTubers ask you guys to engage with the content or subscribe, but for us, we really do see a difference in how the videos are received when you do that. So I do want to say a big thank you because I could not do all this without y'all. The negative, the positive, whatever it is, it all has helped to get these videos out and just, again, continue to inspire me to make this channel better. We are going to do the last two episodes of Temptation Island, episode 9 and episode 10. We gonna wrap it up. Apparently there's no reunion, which is crazy. I know the previous seasons used to have a reunion, so maybe if enough people ask Netflix for a reunion, they will give one. So y'all go to Netflix Instagram and do what y'all do and ask them to put up a Temptation Island reunion, because I really want to know what is going on with these people in real time. And before you ask, because I know some people are going to ask, the Love is Blind Sweden video is coming tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow I got y'all for the next two episodes that are out. That will be out tomorrow. Just wanted to wrap up Temptation Island. This has been very, very fun. Thank you guys. I know a lot of you guys said you watched through my recaps, which, hey, I'll take it, okay? I still think y'all should have watched the show itself, but I'll even take it if you just watch my recaps. All right, another long intro, but let's jump into it. All right, so episode 9 is the final individual dates. All of the couples make it back from the bonfire.
Are you okay? You look a little sad.
These bonfires, all they are is mess. Now, Grant and Natalie, he says it is so nice to come back to Natalie after a night like that. He thanks her for being here. And of course, he asks Natalie on that final date, and she would love to. And I feel like Grant is all over the place. I think Natalie also realized that Grant is very all over the place. One minute it's, I'm definitely breaking up with Ashley, I will not do this. The next minute it's, oh my goodness, I want to leave the island with Natalie. He was always back and forth. I think Grant is definitely in a spot where he needs to do some thinking, and he needs to do some thinking on his own. So Kay and Grant, he starts to talk about how being away from Kay, even just for a few seconds, he misses her so much. So of course they kiss, and she thanks him for asking her on the final date. Now, Yaman and Tyler are talking back at the girls' relationship. Taylor is really pondering how Grant can jump from relationship to relationship. He got out of a 2.5-year marriage, then he met her, and there was just no space in between. And I do think there is really something to being single after a long-term relationship. The relationship I was in prior to being with my husband, it was like 5, 6 years, whatever. And I was single for a year after that, just straight single, didn't even barely date, because it was just like for so long. And also I got into that relationship when I was 19. And so it was for so long of my childhood, not childhood, but let's say young adult years, I was with that person. And I feel like sometimes that ends up shaping you where you really don't know yourself. So I can understand what Taylor is talking about when she's saying that Grant being able to jump so fast. It's like, who are you? What do you want to do? Now, Taylor does admit that she is not falling in love with Yaman quite yet, but she could see some of the things that she's been looking for in Yaman, and of course she asks him on the final date. Now we have Amaya and Bion.
See if she still wants me. I think she does from her words, but I know I'm not trying to lose out on a great woman.
The last date, right? I feel like closest connection.
So At this point, Breon is talking to Amaya, saying I'm just realizing that all of Shantae's clips have been her telling another female how much she loves me and how much she's into me. All I've done is hurt her this entire time. And I'm like, yeah, Breon. Yeah. It took you basically running rampant, doing wild, being a dirty dog. That's just what I'm gonna say. You was a dirty dog, and now you realize that Shantae has not been doing that same thing to you. Shantae hasn't even looked at another guy. Yeah. He's realizing that he's been a dick and that Shantae doesn't need him, but he wants her. And it's like crazy. Crazy how when you get your free hall pass to cheat and it ain't hit the way you thought it was gonna hit, that threesome didn't hit the way you thought it was gonna hit. Now all of a sudden you wanna and be like, I want Shantae. I just don't like that. I don't like that at all. And what's even worse is it just stinks to know that I feel like Shantae is the kind of person that would turn around and just be like, okay, Breon. But anyways, Amaya does accept going on the final date with Breon. They are getting closer in their friendship, and she does see some growth in him. Now, Shantae just ends up asking Hashim because they've been really close friends, so he's happy to go as a friendship date with her. Ashley and Danny, of course they go, but she says that at this point, she just wants good vibes, no pressure, and she's really been feeling that with Danny. So, of course, he is 100% catching feelings for her, and they do go on their date together. I'm going to be honest, with Ashley and Danny, I don't see it outside the villa. I think I said it in a previous video, but to me, it's giving vacation fling, and I think there's nothing wrong with that if you surely are done with Grant. It seems he's done with her, she's done with him, but I just don't see anything that has indicated that these two would be able to sustain a relationship outside of here. I also know that Danny's 22, and from what I understand, Ashley's like, what, 3, 4, 5 years older than him, so I don't know. It just wasn't giving that it has anything of sustenance. It's just giving, I find you attractive. It's really on Danny's end. I feel like Danny, all he ever says is, she's so attractive, she's so attractive, she's so hot. Oh my God, I'm falling for her, she's so hot. So I don't know. Now, Taylor and Yaman, they're in their little matching PJs. They ask each other on this date. It's no pressure. They start making out. And I like how Taylor does make it clear that she's having fun with Yaman. He's a cool guy, but she really does not know if it would be something. I think, again, Taylor was the one who said she wants those Southern values. And to me, that seems a little code worded there. But it's giving, I found this hot guy at a resort on vacation and I'm going to have fun with him. So, hey, more power to them. Lastly, Lex asks Gio on a date. They've been friends the whole time. He's always supported her. So he definitely wants to go on that date. So they go on that date. I said last, but I mean last for real. I just keep forgetting about Lino. Lino asks Nikki. He wants Nikki to actually accompany him ring shopping because he is planning to propose to Lex at the final bonfire.
After the bonfire, starting to become real tonight, and I wanted to pull you guys in and officially announce that I'm gonna propose to Alexa at the end.
Is ready. She's really, really excited. Now, y'all in the comments didn't believe that Lino actually wants Lex. Y'all thought that it was just because nobody wanted to go for him. You really feel that way? I don't know. I feel like, sure, I feel like had Alex wanted to go further with Lino, I definitely think he would have at least gave into a kiss, but I don't know. Lino wasn't giving that he wanted to be with one of the girls. I mean, look at Nikki here, for instance. She's not with anybody, and you didn't see Lino all over her. So I don't know. I still get the vibe that Lino did want Lex. I do get the vibe that Lino did realize that he was insecure, but that's just me. I don't know. I was surprised that a lot of y'all thought Lino would have did a little something if he actually got some play. So those are our final dates. On to the next morning. The next morning, we have Shante still struggling with what she saw in her clip.
For him, I'm just curious if he's going to own up to the things that he's done. Out of respect for me at this point. If you didn't want to show respect by your act.
She talks about how the love for Breon is not simply going to go away, that they were planning to get married, engaged, all of this after this. So it's not like she can just drop that and let it go. She does wonder if he is planning to own up to his mistakes since he did not keep the boundaries. Now, Ashley points out, and I do actually like that Ashley pointed this out. She says, look, it's not simply just that he cheated. It's not simply just that he did something or crossed a boundary by kissing a girl. It's the fact that whatever he did, even the girls in the villa that were intended to be temptresses were talking about him. And I think that should be humiliating for Shante. That even the girls that were sent into this experiment were so disgusted by Bion that they did not want to be with him because they saw his behavior. To me, I would have that and I would be thinking about that. And again, I get it, Shante, but it's like, I just don't get it. I actually don't get it. I say I get it. I don't get it because they've only been together for a year. I would understand if you've been with this guy for 3, 4, 5 years. You have this long-term relationship. You guys have been together for 1 year. I believe it was. Was it 1 year? So I don't know. To me, it's just like, what is it? What is it that he is giving that makes you want him so badly? Because he's not emotionally in tune. He says that y'all sex life is trash. He doesn't seem particularly remorseful. So what is it? What is it, girl? I just don't know. Y'all talk about your faith, and I'm curious what their faith looks like. Do they pray together? Do they go to church together? Is that it? I know they met at church. I just don't know what it is, and I get it when you're in this kind of thing and you like someone so much, but geez, I mean, none of this has changed your mind? None of it? Zero? Shante does claim that she knows and has always known her worth, but this really hurts. She hates that it comes off like he's manipulating her, and she hates that he did this in the first place because he knows that she loves him and will take him back. Shante essentially admits what he said, that all he has to do is sit here and say sorry, and she will take him back. I don't know. This whole thing to me is so embarrassing, and I want better for people like Shante. I really do, because this is not it. This is not love. This is not it. Your man was so pressed to cheat and then it didn't hit like that. And now he wants to turn around with his tail between his legs and beg for you back. So the girls and the guys, they have to say goodbye to the people not chosen. Now, Alex brings up how she and Bion were close in the beginning, but at this point, they have come a long way. She knows that Bion has a lot to work on, but hopefully when he and Shante reconnect, they can get there. Logan, he has no hard feelings that Ashley didn't pick him, because remember, it was Logan, Danny, and Ashley, the 3 suitors, the 3 musketeers, but he has no hard feelings. So Lino steps aside and he has a conversation with Lex's dad and basically asks for her hand in marriage. Lex's dad is ecstatic, over the moon. He absolutely loves this. He says, look, if you treat my daughter with love and respect, I am all in. Lino is so happy. Nice little conversation. And again, I don't know. Y'all don't think it's cute? Y'all really don't think that Lex and Lino are cute? Because I do. Maybe it's because these shows always end badly. I'm just so happy to see a couple that seemingly works out. So, final dates. Kay and Tyler are in a Porsche, and Tyler is driving, and he is not looking at the road. Even Kay is like, yo, look at the road. He is swerving. They literally show the car swerving. I'm like, oh, nah, I'm good. Taylor says Yemen is showing her what happiness should look like. Cool. I still know you would never date this man outside of the show. Amaya says Bion is going to sleep on a beanbag because she's not doing it with him. I like that Amaya and Angel both kept their boundaries with Bion because at this point, again, they see that dirty dog behavior and they are not interested to be with someone like that. Lino is picking out a ring at the ring shop. Very cute. Gio and Lex, they just cannonball into the pool. They have a lot of talks again about how far Lex has come. And Gio's just been a really, really good friend to her the entire time. Now, Natalie and Grant, they're feeding each other a mango, and Grant is thinking about asking Natalie to leave the island with him. And I'm like, really? And Natalie, to me, would be so dumb to leave the island with this man because he has shown that he is all over the place. He has shown that 1 minute he's 100% on one thing, another minute he's 100% on other things. Grant is very impulsive, and that is worrisome in a relationship. Now, Ashley does feel like she will be tempted by Danny if she is actually alone with him. So we do get to the nighttime, and Brion's unzipping his little beanbag to sleep on the floor. He does realize he has not been giving himself or his full heart to Shante.
I'm fully committing in one-on-one relationships. I'm scared of fully committing when I'm having sex.
This is nice, though.
Get out.
I just realized that's
And he is ready to do that. I'm not going to repeat what I just said. Just rewind 5 minutes to hear me say exactly how I feel about Bion. Now, Yaman loves that Taylor is very soft and knows who she is really attracted to him. Yeah, Yaman, I'm so sorry. Taylor would never date you outside the show. Kay feels like it would be very confusing if Grant chooses to leave alone, but she doesn't want to get her hopes up and feel stupid if he actually does. Now, Danny does want to pursue what he and Ashley have going on. At this point, Ashley does realize there are feelings there, but her and Danny have been in a bubble. So she's open to pursuing things outside, but she can't give an answer on where things will go. And I do think that is the right way to go about things. You just got out of this messy on and off thing. Yes, you and Danny, it's cute. As I said, I don't think it's anything serious outside the villa, but I definitely think that you should not be making any promises to anyone while you're here about what will happen. Now, Ashley said that she will likely leave alone because she doesn't need Grant, but she immediately does not want to jump into another relationship right this second. So Natalie knows that she cannot go all the way with Grant until he fully closes the door with Ashley. Now, Grant says that tonight will be that decision maker. He does not regret this connection with Natalie, and if it lands, it will be incredible, but he's still not sure. And to be Natalie, girl, that should tell you everything that you need to know. This man cannot make a decision to save his life. I feel like almost everybody else here knows what decision they're going to make, or it's very clear. But at least watching at this point with Grant, I still was not sure what decision Grant was going to make. So the next morning, we get this little breakfast montage. Now, Bion and Amaya, they are talking. Once again, Bion regrets his behavior. He wishes he could have came to the conclusion that he doesn't want threesomes without acting that way.
of what my future is going to look like.
I've seen you grow a lot in your relationship and as a man, and I just hope that she does show you grace in some way or another.
Acting that way. And I'm like, yeah, Bion. Crazy that wild sexcapades don't hit like that. Crazy. Anyway, Shante claims she has not made a final decision yet of where she wants to go. I'm like, yes, girl. Yes, you have. Stop it. Now, Lino had thought in his mind before he came that he was going to marry Lex, but now he knows without a shadow of a doubt. And we saw him pick that ring out. So Lino, he's locked in. Granted, Natalie, he's really going to miss her. He is definitely sad that the experience is ending, but he is confused about what decision he's going to make. So all the guys, they have a chat.
Set things straight, and I'm just gonna have to do what I'm gonna do tonight.
Man, I'm kind of nervous going into the night. Again, I'm gonna try to explain myself.
And Grant is talking about how he is really not sure what he's doing, but he does plan to apologize to Ashley. Like you guys always do, the up and down, the up and down, the up and down. Lino definitely knows he's planning to propose. For Bion, he knows he needs to apologize to Shante. She's a good woman, blah, blah, blah. It's like, Bion, we've heard it already. We've heard it. Tyler, though, claims he has felt no regret. While all the other guys here are talking about how much they realize they love their girl and how good it is and everything, they realize their wrongs. Tyler over here like, I don't care. I don't belong regret. Crazy. Now, the girls, they have a very different kind of chat. They just basically talk about all how they are grateful for each other. And we jump into the final bonfire. So Bion and Shante, they go first.
You know how I was raised. It was tough. Abused, adopted, abused some more. Left the house at 17.
But, you don't do that to someone you love. You shouldn't have done that to someone you love.
What?
Now, Bion walks in and he realizes that all of the problems in their relationship are his. He thought that love was making Shante laugh, buying her stuff, and he was using other women to mask his childhood trauma. And again, Bion, you need to be seeing the lady, okay? I'm not going to blame you for your childhood or say that that's something that should not impact you, but clearly and obviously you are not in a mental space to have healthy relationships with other people. So go see the lady and leave Shante alone. Unfortunately, I know Shante, I just knew from the beginning Shante was going to take him back. We all predicted it. We all predicted it, girl. So anyway, Shante and Bion, He walks in, he immediately calls her beautiful and goes in for the hug. It ends off as a cliffhanger on episode 9, but we're going to jump straight into it. So, episode 10. Shante gets a chance to speak uninterrupted, and basically she talks about how the point of bringing Bion here was to show that he could have platonic friendships with women. He could do these different things and still be close to women and not cross those boundaries. However, the way he acted made her feel worthless. It made her feel the love was worthless and made her feel that the relationship was worthless. So at this point, she really doesn't know what to do. She knows her self-worth and she knows that she needs to start putting herself first. And I'm like, Shante, you can't say all of that and then be willing to take him back, because putting yourself first will never be being in a relationship with this man. Anywho, Bion, he basically takes his uninterrupted time to apologize. He starts crying with no tears coming out. He loves her. He gets into how she knows how he was raised and all the trauma that he's been experiencing. He thought that wild sex and threesomes would fill that gap. And again, I'm just looking at Bion's face. There was nary a tear coming out that eye. So I already knew what was about to happen. Now they start to ask each other questions, and Shante wants honesty about everything that happened with the threesome. She talks about how she saw Maya rejecting the date. So did more happen after that? Bion makes it clear that the only time he crossed the boundary was during the threesome, which is true. But nonetheless, you were literally at a point where you were ready to consider leaving the relationship unless you got to have this threesome. And then you just hit it and quit it with those two girls and completely iced them out. Yeah, nah. He says that his ego made him not admit that he was wrong, so he pretended it was cool. He put on this facade. Now, Amaya is a strong Christian woman, and she held him accountable, but he also points out that Amaya had seen growth in him through the end. Shante says, look, this is not something you do to someone you love. And for a second, I was thinking, oh my God, is Shante actually going to choose herself? I started to clap. I was like, hold up. Now, Bion discusses once again that for 17 years of his life, he felt left out, he felt neglected. So again, he's been using sex to mask all of that. Shante feels that she puts others before herself, including him, and she feels like she needs to use this time to choose herself. At this point, Mark is like, what is the decision? Bion says he absolutely wants to leave the island with her. He loves her. He wants to go on to have a lifetime of happiness. Shante gets up, asks for a moment, and she actually goes over and cries to the producer. She says, I don't know what to do. I don't know what the right decision is. I'm not sure what to do. And I knew it. See, this is the problem. They should make their decision without seeing their partner. Because I knew the minute she saw this man, she would melt into him, especially if he started to apologize and talk about his trauma and trauma dump and all of this. I just knew it was going to shape her. So Shante does come back and say that she has to choose herself in the moment. She would like to see his growth. She would like to experience that. But for now, she really has to pick herself.
That's exactly what I wanted him to do. But then on the other end, he disrespected me by crossing the boundary.
So when she said that, I thought that was it. I thought that was the period. I thought that it was done. And I was like, yes, she didn't pick him. Well, I hate to be the bearer of disappointment, but it keeps on going. Bion then counters back, I know I fucked up so many times. I know I did wrong to you, but I can't let you forget all the good times. Now, Shante says she did want to see him be more emotionally in check, and that person has come out. So again, she appreciates that. And every single moment he starts talking about stuff, you see Shantae's wall coming down more and more and more and more. Now, he tries to say that she came in so confident of him and that he wasn't going to cheat because outside of the villa, he has never come close to breaking that boundary. And I was like, ooh, that's nasty and manipulative as fuck. That is so manipulative. You trusted me because you knew I would never do that. That is so foul. And it is crazy to me that Shante cannot see how manipulative it is. It is crazy that Shante cannot see how much of a hold this man has on her mind. And I was like, if I recall correctly, didn't Bion cheat in their relationship before and then come running back? Did we not talk about that on episode 1? So I'm like, wait. What do you mean he's never broken that boundary? Okay. So now Shante starts to say that she loves and recognizes this new side of him. She really wants that to be something someday, but she's just not sure right now. And I'm like, girl, please stop playing around with us. We know you're leaving with this man. Ultimately, he reiterates that he loves her and will give her all of that. Every single thing that she's been asking for, he will be. He is throwing everything at the wall at this point. But Shante does agree to leave the island with Bion.
I'll leave the island with him.
Oh my God. Oh, goodness.
As they're walking out, he promises to build her trust. He says, I'm gonna get a therapist. I'm gonna go to therapy. I'm gonna get a therapist. Child, I'm gonna have to see the after the show stuff. Okay, we'll probably have one more video where I update y'all on what's going on in reality. I'm gonna go snoop on these people's pages because I couldn't do it. So Shante and Bion leave together. Next up, Taylor and Tyler's final bonfire.
Choice. You asked me not to give up on you, and I didn't. Up until you crossed the boundaries that we set together, every day I felt Comp has put into perspective what I bring to the table and what I deserve. I want someone who is dependable, consistent, trust.
I'll take that, okay? We've had all these prior conversations, the conversation at the goodbye and all that, and then you, first day, that routine, all from 18 to 25. And I do just want to venture out and just let go. And life has been blessing me for it. I feel like...
So Taylor reads a letter, and basically the gist of the letter is that they came to this island to build trust. He wanted to show that he could be the man that she was looking for, and every single day she hoped that he would prove it, but in the end, he played her and he played himself. This has really put into perspective what she brings to the table, and she wants someone that will see that, and she basically says, sorry that you're not going to get to see this new version of me. Now, Tyler did not prepare a letter, but he did come to prove that he is the man that she deserves, but heard things through the bonfires that made him realize how she truly felt. He actually ended up learning a lot about himself, and yes, he was tempted by someone on the island that sees his worth, but he does make sure to make it clear that he did not let sexual temptations cloud his judgment and cloud the decision that he ultimately wanted to make, but he does make sure to apologize for what he put her through. I'm like, okay. So Taylor, when they get to their conversation, Taylor brings up that they came on the premise of staying with one another. Remember, when they were going the first day, he did beg her through tears, please stay with me, please stick with me, please stick with me, don't do anything. I do remember that scene. And same day, he was touching up on Kay, he got a lap dance from Kay, all in a matter of 72 hours. So what happens to all of that? Now, he tries to counter by saying that he was always thinking of her no matter what. And she's like, wait, so when you were in the bathroom making out with her, when you were in the bed kissing her, when you were getting a lap dance from her, were you thinking of me? And he says, no, I wasn't. Now, he brings up how she said that he has bitch tendencies, says, why was I stuck with this person? Yada, yada, yada. She was telling that to a guy, and then she was hugging up on that same guy. Now, he claims that he thought that they were a team, and Taylor chimes in and says, we were never a team. Then they jump into the real meat and potatoes of this. Taylor says for the last 6 to 9 months, he has not had a job, and for her, that has been very, very tough to deal with. Now, Tyler chimes back in and says, look, I have never made it seem like I was not, didn't have money, I was hurting, I was in any position where I was not going to be able to do what I wanted to do. At the end of the day, I realized that my dreams of being freelance, being more, going with the wind does not fit for the lifestyle that you're looking for. And I just feel like I've had this very structured life for my whole entire life up until I was 25, 26, whatever he said. And right now, I just don't want to go into that direction. I know you want this provider. I know you want this man that's basically going to work this traditional 9 to 5 and be able to do all of those things, but that's just not where I'm at. So they jump into how for Taylor, it's really, really scary and unstable for her because of her past to have somebody somebody who is a little bit more unstable with his income. And Grant talks about how he feels like he is being pushed and pressured to go into a certain direction, even though that's not the direction that he wants to be in. He does want to be able to live his life and have somebody that understands and sees that part of him. He feels very, very undervalued. Even after his divorce, he felt horrible. And when he pushes him that way, it just makes him feel basically useless. He feels like it doesn't matter. And again, with this couple, I just feel like these two have outgrown each other. I think these two want to go in different directions. I think it is totally fine if you want to live a life or you want to be a model and you make enough money to pay your bills, pay your rent, pay whatever. But sure, that might mean that a partner who wants more of a stable income is not going to be okay with that. I think that it is very clear that the two of them have different outlooks on what success looks like, what stability looks like, even where they want to go in their life and what pace they want to go at. It seems to be like Taylor wants more of the traditional, a marriage, maybe kids, maybe just that steady life, that marriage. Whereas it's clear that Tyler wants to be a model, live his best life, be out there. And I don't necessarily think either person is inherently wrong. I just don't think that they align. So once again, Taylor does start to cry and talk about how she feels absolutely gutted by this experience. It hurts to see him fall in love with someone else because all she wanted was for him to fall in love with her.
I want that with you so bad, Tyler. And that's why this experience is really gutting, and to see you falling in love with someone.
So we get to the decision and Taylor does choose to leave the island alone. And I was happy to see that. Like I said, I knew Taylor was never going to date Yemen outside this island. I think it was fun. He's a fling. He's cute. He's buff. But I just knew that was never going to be a thing. And I'm glad she didn't. Now, Tyler does choose to leave with Kay.
I'd like to leave here with Kay.
Wish you the best.
Chooses to leave with Kay. Taylor leaves and he brings in Kay.
So much, and how you've kind of stayed by my side through, obviously, me being in a relationship coming here, and I know that's been expected. You ready?
I'm ready.
Thank you.
Now, Tyler says the reason that he really likes Kay is because Kay actually sees who he is as a person and as a spiritual being. So he does acknowledge that this might just be island fever and he's having a fun vacation. And I thought that was mature to admit that. I'll give him 1 point for that because I do think it is very mature to admit this might just be the island and we might just be having fun. But he does want to see where this could go. Obviously, when she asks him, he does accept, or she does accept, and they head off into the sunset together. So Grant goes in for a hug. Ashley's like, I'm good.
No, that's okay.
Thank you so much. I know that you've seen your worst nightmare come true on that screen.
In every relationship you've been in, I've caught you in your own lies of your own timeline. My gut instinct. So when you were in the shower with that girl, you were thinking about my feelings?
No. Not at that point, no. And
that's like, ooh, okay. So Brian says that Ashley is worth chasing around the world and he did it for a very long time. However, he realized that what he was chasing, who he was chasing was unobtainable. He loves her and he is sorry for hurting her so much, but he does also realize how disrespected and belittled he felt in this relationship. He forgives her and himself. Ashley is like, I don't have a lot to say, and then proceeds to say a lot. But she says that she sees him saying he wants to be a good man. He came to show trust, but within days was telling everyone that it wasn't going to work. He was railing another girl in the bathroom. She's really not sure what there is to forgive on her end because her actions are reactions to his behavior. He's a serial cheater. She's aware of that. She thinks that, or she's like, I know that you don't even understand or see that I have seen that the timeline you've given me does not even make sense for any of your other relationships. And I was like, ooh. Now, I will give Ashley props because I do think Grant was the one person from the beginning who was like, I'm done. immediately. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. But he would be up and down and up and down. And as I said, I think Grant is very impulsive. And in the moment, what he's thinking is what he goes with. But then he regrets his thoughts in the morning. Okay. It's too much. Now, Ashley felt that the relationship was separated as soon as they got here. And Grant said, same. Now she's like, how can you hook up with this girl, but in the morning, you want to be with me? And I was like, I agree with that. Now, he claims that it was an emotional roller coaster and he came here to try to figure things out while he's here. I'm like, okay, Grant, you're everywhere. You're everywhere. I don't know. Grant is very impulsive, and I feel like Grant also has a very smug attitude that's kind of annoying to deal with. Now, he claims that he always thought about her no matter what. She's like, in the shower? When you were with another girl in the shower, did you think about me? He says he didn't think about it then, but he does realize that he should have just ended this before they even got here. He doesn't appreciate being belittled, emasculated, calling him a piece of shit, wondering why she got this guy. So she does admit to belittling him, the resentment, and she does feel that when they were separated, that was the first time she felt free. So once again, he is like, well, I'm gonna be honest, I want you to be happy, I want you to feel joy, I want you to breathe, and ultimately I did want you to be happy with me. And I'm like, hold up. Greg is taking the route of wanting to be with Ashley. I knew it. If I was Natalie, I would have never wasted my time with this man because I knew it. Grant is all over the place. He is everywhere. Up, down, here, and there. It's too much. He knows that Ashley's a catch, an amazing woman, and he wants her to see her worth and be happy with him too. I was like, hold up. Is this man going to try to leave with her? Because I don't know about that. We get to the decisions, though. Grant does choose to be alone. He does say in his confessional that he knows that he built a connection with Natalie and maybe he'll pursue that outside of the island. But at this point, he needs to learn how to be alone for just a little while. Good. You know what? Good. I think that is really, really good because, again, it just seems like he is very impulsive and all over the place and maybe needs to see the lady to help decipher some of those feelings because I just feel like he has so many. Ashley chooses to leave with Danny.
I'm gonna leave the island with the new connection I made.
And I was like, what? I don't know why I thought Ashley was going to leave alone. I just was not expecting her to say she was leaving with Danny. So they do bring in Danny, and Ashley does say, while she does not know if it is actually going to be feasible to have a relationship outside of the show, she does not want to say bye yet, so she went ahead and stayed with him.
All right. Danny, this is the bonfire thing we've been talking about.
This is pretty neat. I like it.
I'm glad you do because it's you both the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Know you're going to be kind to one another. And I'm looking for...
Last but not least, the couple, the golden couple that I believe in. Even if y'all don't believe it, I believe in. Lex and Lo.
I realized that was not force, but a choice. And I do really, really appreciate it. But it's not anything.
Coming to this island, I thought I could just come, learn a few lessons, get a little wild, have some fun. All those years ago, I knew you would be mine. From strangers at the gym to inseparable lovers. Who knew dropping a barbell on myself would be the...
Lex basically apologizes to Lino. She expresses her appreciation for him being willing to stick by her, whether it meant putting aside his career, traveling different states. She really appreciates it. She does mention at this point, though, that she realizes this was a choice that he made and she appreciates it tremendously, but it can't be something that's held over her head. At this point, she also reassures him that he was always her first choice, no matter what. And as I said, I just think it was some funky wording when it came to her being exclusive live with two people. I can almost guarantee you that they were just casually dating, and Lino is the type who thinks when you're casually dating, you're just talking one-on-one, or maybe Lex is the type that until you officially ask her to be in a relationship, she believes she can date multiple people, and I don't think either side is wrong. Now, for Lino, he does admit that all of the fears and doubts he came in with were his own projections and insecurities. It was never anything that she was doing, but it was just behavior he was projecting onto her. They both obviously agreed to leave together, and then they walk over to this nice little path laid out with flowers, and Lino proposes, and Lex says yes.
Defense is down.
And baby, that's all she wrote. I'm happy for them. I do think that they were the only couple that genuinely had a real relationship with real problems. I'm sorry, the rest of these couples, it's given, you were my fling and we need to just break up and move on. But these two genuinely had a relationship where I feel like if they sat with the lady for real, but like a couples counselor lady, and sat down and talked it out, I think that they do have the opportunity to make it. So blessings to them. I love love, okay? In watching all these shows, I know I'm snarky, but I really do want some couples to work out sometimes, okay? So that is it. That is the end of the season. Like I said, this was fun to watch, y'all. I had a great time. I was not expecting as many of you guys to be on this ride with me as we did. So thank you so much for supporting the videos. I loved reading y'all's comments. This was so fun. Now, in April, I'm thinking of some different ideas. It is kind of a lull for shows. I ain't gonna hold y'all. So I did do a community tab post a few days back asking if you guys would be interested in Black Mirror. I don't know yet if I'm going to do it 100%. I actually do have an operation at the beginning of April. April's also my birthday month, and I have 2 trips planned in April. So I have a lot going on in April. So I can't promise I'm going to do Black Mirror. Maybe if there's 1 or 2 really good episodes. But if there are any other reality TV show programs that you would like me to recap, I do like game shows. I like, you guys see what I like. Okay, go to my page. You'll get a feel for the type of shows I like to recap. If there's anything that you guys like, you can leave it in the comments. I'm not promising anything because like I said, April is a very busy month for me, but I would like to see what we can do for April to keep the channel going. I know Love Island and those other shows are going to be starting real soon in May and in June. So the channel is going to definitely be picking back up again. But it has been fun. And as I said, Love is Blind Sweden, we are going to finish that. So the Love is Blind Sweden videos are still going to be coming. So anyways, thank you guys so much. It's been so fun. Thank you always for supporting the channel. Sorry if I seemed a little off today. I don't feel the best, but I really wanted to get this out to y'all. Thank you guys so much. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the bell button. Interact with the video any way you want. It all really helps me. And I will talk to you guys for my next one.